So, with that being said, I'm kind of nervous to end event and see what we did, but we got to do it sometime. Okay. Well, I have stunned silence because Terahisa Yoshioka decided not to wrestle. But somehow, as he told us that and was leaving the building, he injured himself and is out for 2 months. So, you know what? Good. Well, I have to say I thought this was going to be a failure. So, I am surprised that it is a success. I have to hope that the previous two cards we had 10,000 seat venues. We bumped this one to 30, but at least we got 20,000 people out of this one, so I'm hoping financially we can just break even. I know empty bleacher stood out, thank you. And we won't do a large haul for quite a while. You need a stacked roster of your own talent when we're trying to get these folks to come in and make a commitment to us. Well, okay, never mind. I was really worried, and I think that might be our largest profit month of all time. 1.2 in income, 533,000 in expenses for a monthly profit of $687,000. Raising our end of year one assets to $2.7 million. And as I promised, we would go ahead and rank and see what we have done against the competition. However, since this has been a longer episode, or a long episode, I'm going to go ahead and make a special episode after this. It's going to be kind of a year-end review and / an awards show. So we'll give our year-end awards. We'll see what we've done versus AEW, WWE, and all the other promotions and all that kind of good stuff. And we have a singles tournament with KFS as we move into year 2. And we have a singles tournament with Ace. Okay. Well, I didn't realize that this would happen, but we have an annual results. So for us, though, we've made 4.3 in income over the year with 1.8 in expenses, 2.5 in profit, and we started with $200,000, if you recall. So 2.7 in the bank. That is really impressive. As I had already mentioned, I didn't even think we'd have 1 million in the bank at the end of year 1. Oh, okay. Something else. I had no idea that this was a thing. So in terms of how Fire Promoter ranks these promotions, it has some kind of a point system. I've never even seen this, not in another video. So pulling up the rear is Super Lucha, followed by ONI. Number 12 is Red Ocean. Dream Championship Wrestling. So we went from and actually, I take that back. DFW 17, TFC 16, Ace is 15. So we went from all the way down to number 17 to start our very first card in January of year 1, and we have moved up quite a few spots to number 11, at least in terms of points and how this game does the point system. MPW is above us, cracking the top 10. WWE, ironically, is number 9. Battle Muscle is number 8. AEW comes in at 7. I'm sure we know who number 1 is. Still going to be SWA, but number 6, JTW. MWA is number 5. KOG and KFS are both MMA promotions. They are 3 and 4. KFS, I guess, gets the bronze rating. NCPW gets the silver. And number 1 by a mile is SWA, and that's who we're shooting for. I don't know how long it's going to take to get there, but probably a while. Many, many years. Okay. Something else I've never seen. Assets transition. So our line has gone up from 0. Nobody has a drastic line. I don't really know what this means. I have to be honest with you. Oh, okay. I'm kind of missing at the top. I gotcha. Oh, all right. So, title belt transition. Yeah, really, I'm not quite sure what that means. Our ranking, as I mentioned, we went from 17 all the way up to number 11. Popularity. We went from the 17th most popular promotion to 17. We stayed even. We've made no ground. Somebody here has made, and again, you can't see my cursor, really hit a downward slide. Maybe that was WWE. Wrestlers. We went from the 17th ranked in terms of roster up to number 6. Our gym went from the worst all the way up to the 3rd best, which I am proud of that. Our assets, 2.7. We still got a long way to go, but I am thrilled with 2.7. So let's go ahead and confirm this. Is there anything else? Rankings are finally up. We should always aim to outdo ourselves, boss. Check rankings from the records help menu. Ready to go back to work? I am indeed. Okay. Happy New Year. Your promotion ended the year ranked at 11. Let's set our sights even higher than last year. Well, it's going to be hard. We went from 17 to 11, so we climbed 6 spots. So basically, we'd need to make it into the top 5 to outdo what we did in year 1. Okay, one of our scouts, we were unable to find anyone worth signing. That is fine. Leonardo left SWA. We'll have to check Leonardo out. Well, Kenny Omega, he leaves AEW. That's a possible signing down the road. Although I did say we need to pump the brakes a little bit with the signings. Brock Lesnar wants more money. Who else? No, just Brock. Wait a minute. Are you kidding me? Boss, we're living the dream. Someone wants to offer us a sponsorship. Oh, wow. Okay. Real estate company SRGM Home. Construction company that builds and renovates condos. They've established a reputation and are here to stay. The benefit of signing with this sponsor is we will cut the cost of renovating our training center by 10%. And it looks like they also give us $10,000 a month. I mean, that'll pay quite a few salaries on our roster. Yeah, let's do it. Wait a minute. What is this? There's some, I guess, some smaller sponsors. A 2-year contract. Jumbo Mart, a city-sized supermarket that has everything you can imagine and some things you can't. You'd need a full day to walk from one side. Okay, like a Walmart. Production of goods is cut by 10%, which is nice. Average monthly match eval must be 50% or more. Well, I hope so. Or I'm really doing something bad. They're going to give us $4,000 a month for 2 years. I guess we'll take that one. Monster Gains is a supplement company targeting weightlifters. Our injury probability will be decreased. Well, I mean, I guess since it's 1 year, and I'm assuming we don't get any. If I could speak, I'm assuming we don't get any other sponsorship opportunities until maybe the end of year 2. Since this happens at the year, I can't talk. Oh my gosh, am I going to edit this or leave it in? You know what I'm saying. Let's take it. The injury decrease is good. And then finally, Inspiration Sportswear. Sportswear maker worn by the very best. They're going to give us $2,000 a month, but it's 2 years. The production cost of t-shirt is cut by 10. I mean, I don't know. I mean, for 2 years, I'm locked in. I'm taking up a sponsorship spot, and I only get 4. And all they do is cut I mean, so if I order, $10,000 worth of t-shirts. They give me $1,000 back. I mean, I'm worried if more sponsors pop up during the year. I wish I knew, but I got to make a choice right now. I mean, 2 years is a long time. I mean, $4,000 a month for Jumbo Mart. I think I'm going to turn this one down, guys. So we got our main sponsor, our sub-sponsors, and the only reason I'm going with Monster Gains is because of it's a 1-year contract. And I wonder if they will be placed on the ring. Okay, wow, has it already been a year? I wonder how we stacked up in the rankings. It'll take time for us to stand toe-to-toe with the big names in the business. Let's take it month by month. Work smarter, not harder. Sponsorship is the first major step. Once we're popular enough, big companies will be banging down our door. You hear that? Opportunity's knocking. Let's make this a year to remember. All right, I think it's time to save and move on. We'll go ahead and have the year-end awards ceremony show next. Then the episode after that will be the first card of year 2, so I'm looking forward to that. I will throw it. You're probably wondering, wait a minute, you glossed completely over something you said you were going to do, which was I was going to commentate the matches. I'll be very honest with you. Once Yoshioka stepped out on us, and it felt like I had to put out some fires, and I really was just kind of, the energy was sapped out of me, and I decided not to commentate. So I do apologize. Believe me, you're not missing anything. But maybe I'll come back and do that at some other point before the end of year card, year 2. Without further ado, let's jump into the awards portion of this episode. We are going to give you the Wrestler of the Year, the Match of the Year, the Debut of the Year, and the Promotion of the Year. We're going to follow that up with some news, some big things for the next event, which will be the next episode. All right, so for the Debut of the Year, our first award, we had quite a few very solid candidates. One stood out more than any other because this guy came in, immediately put his name on the map with a vicious knockout victory, went on to become the world champion for a short time, and that is Mr. Brian Cage. He wins the award for the Debut of the Year. Brian Cage debuted on our third card. He faced Bray Wyatt. He knocked him out in 6 minutes and 55 seconds, and that was by far the most impressive debut we've seen. And we've got some major talent in Dream Championship Wrestling, and we've had a lot of major debuts, but that was out of this world. Number 2, we are going to go to Match of the Year, and I will pull this up on the screen so you can see it as well. We decided to take only the matches that were ranked 100%. As you can see here, we had quite a few 100% matches. We had one in March, which was Eric Rowan, Bo Dallas. One in May, which was Rhino, Bo Dallas. 2 in June. On the June card, we had Ryuji Goda and Claudio Castagnoli, and then the Rotunda Brothers versus Big Trouble for the World Tag titles. Got a 100% match rating. In August, we had 2 as well. Claudio Castagnoli back, facing Braun Strowman. And once again, we had Bo Dallas and Rhino getting 100%. Moving on to September, the next candidate was Matt Jackson versus Kichiro Asakawa. October also had 2 100% match rankings, Bray Wyatt, Matt Jackson, Brock Lesnar, Rhino. And then we finished off the year, our final card, what you just watched, Bray Wyatt and Brian Cage got a 100% as well. But only one can win. And the winner of year 1, Match of the Year, goes to Claudio Castagnoli, Braun Strowman. Congratulations, gentlemen. The August match, it went 25 minutes. Claudio Castagnoli was able to pull it out and defend his DFW title, or the Dream US title, however you want to look at it. Next up, we have the Promotion of the Year. I've promised this for a while, and we're going to pull this up on the screen as well. So what I did was I kept track of all of the promotions, the country that they are headquartered in, and their starting assets when we began this journey a year ago. I also noted their ending assets as of the end of year one, and we came up with the difference. We wanted to see what company had the most financial success. That company was going to win the promotion of the year. So as you see clearly, we'll let the cat out of the bag. And actually not clearly, but Dream Championship Wrestling is the promotion of the year. We started with a meager 200,000 in assets, built that up to 2.7 million, a difference of $2.5 million. Pretty incredible. Number two was the Spike Wrestling Association, SWA. They netted almost 2 million in assets. That was followed up by King of Fighting Sports, then the King of Glory, and then in the top five, rounding it out, Mexico Wrestling. The MWA came in fifth place with 1.2 million in growth. And we will note while we're here, we did have some companies that lost money, including All Elite Wrestling. They lost $144,000 on the year, and WWE lost $121,000 on the year. So they've got some work to do. We're moving in the right direction, but we have work to do as well. And finally, to close out the awards portion of this program, the most prestigious award, the Year One Dream Championship Wrestling Wrestler of the Year, came down to three men. Braun Strowman, finished the year with a record of 8-2. He was the one-time World Heavyweight Champion. Claudio Castagnoli made the cut. He finished the year with a record of 7-2. Unfortunately, he started off 7-0, and he is still the DFW champion. And finally, of course, Rob Van Dam finished the year 7-2 as well. He is the heavyweight champion with multiple title defenses. Any one of these gentlemen is... I wish we could just split this award into three and give it to all three of them, but we can't. It's got to go to one. And the winner of Year One Dream Championship Wrestling Wrestler of the Year is Rob Van Dam. What can we say about Rob? The only wrestler, the only heavyweight champion to defend multiple times. This guy's, I don't even know, 52, 53 years old, an outstanding record. He's done it all. I mean, what a surprise this guy has been. What an athlete. So congratulations to Rob Van Dam. All right. And let's go ahead and close out this episode by getting ready for the first event of January Year 2. Let's take a look first. I guess we need to go take care of Brock Lesnar since he's demanding more money. Well, and before we hit up Brock, I thought we'd check the rumor mill, and it looks like Claudio Castagnoli isn't happy. So two of our biggest stars, when really in terms of popularity, Claudio is not, but I think he will become that. So if you look here, Claudio is, well, now we've built him up to a B. So Claudio is becoming a big star. And of course we know Brock Lesnar is a superstar in America, so... yeah, but he already makes 11.5. Claudio is grossly underpaid. And why we're here too, and I do this all the time, I branch off all the time. In preparing for the next card, let's take a quick look if anybody has got any red. And I don't really go by condition. So Asakawa, his neck is still healing and he didn't even compete. Matt Jackson is fairly damaged. Okay, Bray Wyatt he's certainly out. He has not recovered from that crossroads. Eric Rowan is beat up all over his body. So I think for the upcoming card, we'll take Bray Wyatt. Yeah. Well, Bray Wyatt at least is out. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take care of Claudio and Brock. So Claudio, I'm going to bump him all the way up to the 1794. I mean, he has been a heck of an asset for us. A 7-fight win streak, a record in Dream Championship Wrestling. So he absolutely deserves that. And then Brock. Here's where the jumps start to become very substantial. Brock's record is not all that tremendous. Brock Lesnar, the biggest thing with him is simply his superstar status. He's 5-3 in Dream. He's never held any sort of championship. Um, but, you know, I want to be fair with him. I mean, we did sign CM Punk, and CM is, I believe, north of the, well, was he north of 20,000? Maybe not. But CM Punk is our highest paid talent. I think we'll just go in the middle for Brock. I mean, a $3,000 bump is pretty significant. And I think when we got Brock, his trust was either a D or a C with us, so we do have him up to a B. But expenses just keep on increasing. So we have taken care of the guys that wanted more money. We've checked the health, and really Bray Wyatt is the only guy that's not going to be able to compete on the January card. Let's take a quick look at the merch. So, yeah, I mean, we sold out of, and I think, well, we hit 1,000 units, I guess, of everything. We must have had 2,000 units of the photo collection. So, man alive, we sold out of a lot. Let's get a fresh stock of the action figures. Okay, and I'm just looking up at the top right-hand corner. Expenses already $137,000, and we're bumping down to a smaller venue. Check the training center. Of course, a lot of things need repair. Let's do this real quick. Okay, so we have $138,000 in expenses. We haven't even put a card together or booked a venue. And the last thing that we'll do here is I have been thinking of bringing in another piece of talent, however, going a little bit more economical this time. I have to admit, oh, well, actually two things, shoot. And I do this all the time. We cannot forget SWA got rid of Leonardo. Oh, here you are, Leonardo Pascual, a wrestler from Mexico, nicknamed the Sandstorm. Actually, pretty darn good popularity. Yeah, I mean, especially in Mexico, Latin America, he is a superstar. He's beat up right now, price tag fairly high. Not a great wrestler, just statistically speaking, a smaller guy, still in his prime, 28 years old, but I don't think we'll be signing Leonardo anytime soon. Kenny Omega, pretty good popularity worldwide, very solid wrestler and in perfect health. A little bit past the athletic prime at 36, but as we've seen from Rob Van Dam, you can certainly continue on into your 50s and be very formidable. But right now, that price on Kenny Omega is a little too high. Sandman, he is hardcore. He's quite a draw in America, so Sandman actually is a possibility. Well, let's try to sign Sandman. What the heck? Well, actually, let's not. Because if we do that, then it locks us up and we can't sign anyone else. And I do, let's see here. Yasuo Tanaka. Let's close out this episode. I keep rambling and you guys are probably done with me. So a couple things here. Brian Cage, probably here in January. I'm thinking of sending him off for training. We'll see if we can beef up his cardio. I've never done that before, but I think you can do that. But we'll look at that in the next episode. We'll make a signing more tn likely, or we'll try. Goda is certainly on the radar just because he's a great opening card guy. And he does have decent popularity in Japan. Yasuo, we're going to try to get him back again. Put one of our guys against him. See if we can beat this guy and snag his belt. Let's see here. Oh, also, big news, actually. The very next card, I can confirm we have, well, 3 matches confirmed. CM Punk has demanded a rematch with Eric Rowan. This time, instead of a strong style match, he wants it to be a showman style match. Eric Rowan has agreed, so you're going to see the rematch on the next episode. Also, the feud, Claudio Castagnoli and Matt Jackson, will come to a head as those two face off. And of course, the main event from the Wheel of Dreams, Rob Van Dam is going to defend his title against Braun Strowman. If you remember, all the way back in March of year one, we crowned a champion. It actually was Rob Van Dam versus Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman took the win via pinfall. He hit Rob with his running power slam. Finished that off in 11 minutes and 36 seconds. So can Rob Van Dam not only get revenge in terms of that loss, but retain his title? So those 3 matches. Of course, we're going to have some other big stuff as we always do. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel. Give this video a like. Comment below what you want to see, what you don't want to see. Give us the old fire emojis, 1 to 5 rating of this episode. This may not be a 5. We didn't have any matches, but this was a special episode, so we got a lot of information out there. We need to close up the year, tidy everything up with a nice bow. But thank you always for watching. Truly appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.